ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages. Today we woke up thinking, oh man, we got the crazy list of things to do. And Jerry Jones said, hold my beer, I got something for you at 5 o'clock today. With that being said, this is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. On this Friday Eve, we're going to get ready to show you some things, talk about college football a little bit, Ryder Cup a little bit. We're going to talk about the NFL and some little thing. There's a little trade that happened today in the NFL. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But with all that being said, there's going to be a group of people tomorrow at work. Now, this week we couldn't get the omelet guy, and we couldn't get the donuts. So we in there. It's just go for yourself, fend for yourself. Go get those $1 Wendy's sandwiches before you come in. And then, like I say always, they're going to be standing by the Keurig, and there's going to be 4 of them. And you know the guy that's always late, that doesn't work on projects, but he always wants to get the credit? He going to come over and he's going to ask him, what did you do last night? And the lady going to look at him and say, well, I watched. And then they go all in unison and say, the Thursday night Throwdown. Yeah. And that's how we start things on this Thursday. Again, I'm the Midnight Rider. That is the correspondent, Keith, or the correspondent, I should say. And that's the big guy, KG. And what we're going to do is take you on that run and cover everything just a little bit and make sure you have some fun along the way. So if you're not ready to laugh, you're in the wrong place. KG, take it away.
Good evening. My goodness. You go to sleep, you take a little nap after work. Not only do you miss the Helen Hunt's team meeting call, you find out this big news is going on down south, and you like, what in the world? But before we get into that, how you gentlemen feeling tonight?
Good, sir. How are you?
Feeling good.
Oh, but I can tell you some people that ain't feeling good right now. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll that right there.
We're gonna get into that, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Let's take that off the break, because that's the big news. We got to push everything to the back burner because it's the big news. Micah Parsons traded to the Packers for Kenny Clark and picks. Excuse me.
Go ahead, say it. Just say it like that.
One of the big things that built the Dallas dynasty was probably the greatest train robbery of all time. They committed robbery without a gun in the Herschel Walker trade, which built the dynasty. The remnants of anything that was left, it was in ruin. I think it's now in ashes now. You traded what I like to call MPP, the Micah Parsons problem, to the Packers. And if I'm not mistaken, he got $120 million up front, guaranteed that signing.
Actually, the number I've seen now is 137.
I always knew Jerry was a tightwad. I never thought it'd make me so happy to see him as a tightwad. Gentlemen, I'm going to throw this over to you. I'm going to sit back for a second. I'm going to throw this over to you. And Maddie, checking it. What's happening, Maddie? You might want to buckle in for this one.
Look, there's 6 of these dudes in the NFL for my money. Micah, Bosa, Garrett, Crosby, and Watt, right? And my man Jerry Jones just traded one of them away. If you're in the NFC East, if you're a lineman in the NFC East, or if you're a running back in the NFC East that has to protect your quarterback, Jerry just did you the biggest favor he could ever give you. So I know things went south there in a hurry. I do want to get into this a little bit from the Green Bay side, because guys, when Green Bay takes a swing, if you think about it, with Reggie White and Favre or Charles Woodson, they don't take big swings, and when they do, they hit on all of them. So I'm really curious to see how this works out for them. What do you say, Midnight Rider?
Yeah, let's do that next. Let's do this. We can always do it in 3 ways. We could do a fan side, a Dallas side, a Green Bay side.
Yeah,
because I think all those things come into play. To me, it was just funny, man. I sat at work and I literally went to the copier the first time, and it was like 4:30, so it was like Dallas is open to a trade. 5 o'clock, like 5 o'clock hits, and it's like he's traded to Green Bay, and I'm just like, that's quick. Now there's a guy online, I think he's called Boob Doctor 01, who actually dropped that Green Bay was in these talks last night. Like he heard from a Fort Worth doctor that Michael Parsons was going to Green Bay. He dropped that last night like 8 o'clock. And I guess everybody thought he was crazy. But lo and behold, I guess Adam Schefter don't have anything on Boob Doctor 01 because he dropped that on us last night before we even heard the talks or the rumblings. But this must have been in place. They must have been having conversations along the way because there's no way you hit the button that quick or that deal gets done that quick unless there was some side conversations, maybe a filling out process, maybe a situation where like today at lunch, you know, Green Bay shot Mula Geta some numbers and said, how does this look? We sent them back a counter and they were like, all right, cool. Now if we can get the, you know, the conversation to work, all right, you got a deal. And I think that's how quickly it came together. It's amazing to me. I would like to volunteer to personally bubble wrap the floors at Jerry's house, take all sharp objects away from his house, so that way he doesn't get hurt. Yeah, I don't want nothing to happen to Jerry. But I think there's other perspectives on this, and we're going to definitely get into that. So that's kind of like my immediate reaction to it. Bubble wrap Jerry. Save Jerry.
Couple of comments real quick. Maddie said, Jerry going to Jerry. Yeah. And I think it was a season of hard knocks. I started looking at Jerry Jones way different. And I always said that, you know, I love Jerry's business mind, but his football mind ain't where it's at. It was a guy he signed. And he was an undrafted guy. He made the team. He signed his contract. And Jerry went in his wallet, pulled out $20, put it on the table, and slid it across to him and said, that's your signing bonus. And I was like, wow, that's kind of dirty, but okay. Another guy he did that to, he gave him $100, slid it across the table the same way. That's your signing bonus. After that, I never looked at him the same. I was like, he don't value his players like he used to. But I've said this on this show once. I'll say it again. Jerry Jones destroyed everything that was built when he fired Jimmy Johnson because he wasn't getting the kudos and the credit. He wanted to be on the phone in the war room. When the camera go to me, just act like you're talking to me. Act like you're saying something to me. You don't have to say nothing. Just act like you're saying something to me. Oh, well, Jimmy didn't build this team. We built this team. No, Jimmy built that team. Because
Jerry wasn't having enough fun. Jerry wasn't having enough fun.
And it's just like, you're still doing the same thing. This is what people call the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. This is the definition of insanity. Jerry Jones is insane. Jesse, break down the terms of the deal. There you go. It's a lot there. Kenny Clark, 2 first-round picks for Michael Parsons, then broke the bank, gave him a 4-year, 188. Between Parsons and Love, that's 102 per season. No first-round pick for the next 2 seasons. Ouch. What an awful trade. Good luck, Packers fan. He better work out. We talk about Michael Parsons. This dude got a motor. He's going to work out. Let's not act like this is not a good trade. This is good. This is real good.
He's a joker. He can play anywhere. I mean, you don't want him in coverage, but he can do that too. I mean, he can do it all. So, I mean, there's no limitations. He's going to unlock, you know, the scheme, you know, for Green Bay for sure. And they got a stud on the other side anyway. Like, I think they're going to be extremely formidable, you know, as we move forward.
Out of bounds is good for Green Bay. Jerry is a cancer for the Cowboys. I've been saying that for years, but I agree with Midnight Rider. Don't take him out of power. Leave him right where he's at.
The thing is, for the Cowboys fans, like, they've actually drafted well, you know, the last 10 to 12 years. But when it comes to keeping their own or paying their own, they're either letting them get away, giving them away for nothing, or overpaying them. And you know, like when it came to like Zeke Elliott, you know, even CeeDee Lamb, I think they waited and probably overpaid him. He's a great player, but that contract's starting to rear its ugly head now as well.
J-Dub checking in. Good evening. What's happening, J-Dub? How you feeling? And he said he did pick up a three-time Pro Bowler player from Green Bay and 2 first-round picks in 26 and 27. Yeah. I mean, but you gave up one of the top 10 players in the league.
Yeah, I think Clark might be in the last year of his deal as well. So we probably should look at that. I think so, because that's a dude that's a dude who's going to want to take another bite at the apple because he is a good player.
That'd be perfect for Jerry to trade somebody they didn't want to pay and then still have to turn around and pay his replacement. That would be the most Jerry-like thing ever. You know, we used to have a saying on the show. We still say it from time to time that the Chargers are going to Charger. Well, Jerry's going to Jerry. I think we got to go ahead and add that to the mix. But it's funny because I made some phone calls after the trade went down, and I saw a couple of posts, and I saw a couple of Cowboys fans say good riddance because they feel like he concentrates on his podcast more than he concentrates on being on the field. That was one of the comments I heard. A person that's always in the comments on Sundays, Tim Watkins, was like he thought he should have gone because whenever it's time to show up, like in the playoffs, Micah doesn't show. So I've seen the other side of the spectrum where people weren't shocked and people were kind of like a good riddance because of the way he interacted. I mean, we talked about it in the pre-show, him on the training table. Just another thing where maybe somebody just got tired of his act. I don't know why you would do that, but hey, it happens, right?
Let me say something. This was the last season that the Cowboys were on Hard Knocks. And Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator. Number one, he wanted to come here. He said he wanted to go to Washington when Dan Quinn got hired. He's like, I want to go to Washington because he loved Dan Quinn. Would I like to get him? Yeah, but I didn't want to give up everybody to get him. And then trying to pay him while we trying to pay Terry just didn't work out. But when he was on the sidelines against Atlanta and he had played the first series and the coaches came down and was like, all right, you're out. We're going to put the twos in. And he called upstairs. And he was like, I can still go. He was like, nah, I got to rest you. He was like, but I can still go. He was like, nope. Mr. Jones don't want you playing more than one series. He was like, come on, just let me sneak back in there. He's like, I changed my jersey, everything. Just let me sneak back in there. The kid's got a motor. I fell in love with him right then and there. Like, I already liked him. I fell in love with him right there because even in a preseason game, he was like, I'm just getting started. Let me keep going. I don't care about the podcast. I don't care about anything else that he's got going on. He shows up on Sundays. And for Cowboy fans to say good riddance, I've seen Cowboy fans do that. They were all on Zeke Elliott, freaky Zeke and this, that, and the other. Dak's the best in the league, and we going to the Super Bowl. But as soon as they fail, man, get them up out of here. They bums. The hell with Zeke. Man, Dak should have never got that money. Some of them are revisionists, man. A lot of them are not smart. Some of them are revisionists.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying.
Well, for me, go ahead.
Go ahead, Keith.
No, I was saying for me, we got the NBD, never been to Dallas fans, and then we got the real Dallas fans who I kind of feel sorry for because they lost Luka, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're in Dallas Fort Worth, Luka's gone, Micah's gone. I guess you're gonna hope Cooper Flagg can hold up the fort here because star power is kind of out of the building.
Yeah. Maddie said I had this really smart guy on my show yesterday talking about how much better Washington handled their holdout compared to Dallas. No. You got rid of a star player. Now, granted, they didn't get back no chunk. Now, this is career averages. Kenny Clark has played 140 out of 126 games. I'm sorry, he's played 140. He started 126. He's got 417 tackles total. 35 sacks, 7 forced fumbles, 8 fumble recoveries, 12 pass defenses. And then he's been in the league since 2016. So 2016 to 2024. Not even 10 years, and he's got a pretty impressive resume at defensive tackle. Lot of tackles. And when you got a defensive tackle that chews up the area like that, yeah. Has showed up in the playoffs with 41 tackles, 5 sacks. So they got themselves a player, but I don't know if I'd have gave up Micah Parsons to get him. And
he is signed through 2027.
Okay, you just pulled it. Cool.
Yeah, I just pulled it. The cap hit is I doubt he gets to that part of the contract where it's really 20 goes up to 21.5 and 26 and 20 million and 27. So those are pretty big numbers. See how he performs. But his cap hit for Dallas this year is only 2.3 mil. So they've worked something out. Maybe Green Bay is absorbing some of that contract. We'll have to wait for the finer details to look behind the camera there.
I think if you're Green Bay, I don't think you would touch any of his money or eat anything because you had to sign Micah. So I mean, and so I wouldn't think that they ate any money. If anything, I think they just sent that out, and I honestly thought they could have gotten more. Because when you break down these two picks, if Green Bay is anything like Green Bay is going to be, we're talking somewhere between 25, or I'll be nice to say from 20 to 32, that this pick is going to come up. And you're not drafting another Micah Parsons in that area. You might get somebody good, but you don't get another Parsons. I think the thing that could help, and this is the reach of reaches. They do get the kid Sam Williams back. The defensive end, they did drive Donovan Ezeraku. Those could be solutions. I don't think they are, but I mean,
DeMarcus Lawrence is gone, right?
Yeah, Lawrence is gone.
Yeah,
he went to Seattle. So, it's just a bunch of little things I don't know. And yeah, Matt, I agree with the guys you heard on your show yesterday. Washington did handle this thing a much better than Dallas handled theirs, and that's how we end up here.
Speaking of two things, the Packers. This is people talk about the Packers and how they ran, but this is a franchise that has a board of directors. I was actually trying to be in the running, but I missed the window by a month to buy a share in the Packers. So it'd have been all Packers stuff all around with me because I'd have been the owner of the Packers. So I was trying to get in there. But this is a team ran by shareholders as opposed to a team ran by an authoritarian in Jerry Jones. You see the difference? And the second thing, speaking of Lawrence, that comment that he made the other day that he would have came to Washington, but they're too good and I didn't want to come there because Seattle seemed like a better fit. You know, I could win in Washington. I'm like, dude, isn't the whole point to go to win? I got
some guys want to go and grow. You know, sometimes there are programs where you want to be a part of the change, not be there because it's already happened.
Just real quick, it just makes me wonder if they would have not went after Kinlaw if they could have got their hands. I'm wondering, you know what I mean? If
I think he would affect more Miller than Kinlaw because I think he would only get a 1 year from us. Yeah. I don't think they were going to invest multiple years. But we also got to give a shout out to the happiest guy in all of this whole deal, and that's the guy that wears number 11 in Green Bay. He's got to be the happiest guy because he knows he's got a payday coming for when Michael wants to wear number 11 in Green Bay. That jersey goes on sale right now. Give me your best offer and let's talk about it. You just signed for 137, dog. And that hits your joint like cha-ching. Now I know FICA and them got to you a little bit, but now you should have some funds, some coins. You know what I'm saying? Cash App a brother some money so I'll give you 11. But hey, it'll cost you.
Man.
Dude, is that going to be one hell of a build up when Micah goes back to Dallas in 1 month from today?
Yep.
It's week 4, right?
Yeah, it's week 4. I think it's a night game too. I think I have to look it up.
It's a primetime game. So this is going to build all day long. This is going to be amazing. Amazing. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Just the build up, the ramp up, just get to this point. And I think it's on, I want to say Sunday Night Football.
I believe it is Sunday Night Football.
But yeah, man, that's going to be
Well, let's round this out.
This is why the NFL is what it is. You get something like this. You just when you think, oh, season's about to start, I can't wait. They go, oh, here you go, and they throw more chum in the water. Now it's a frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
Every podcast right now is covering this.
Commanders are at Lambeau on a short week. Week
Yes.
2 on Thursday Night Football. I'm going to see Michael quick, fast, in a hurry here. Real
Yes,
quick.
sir.
We normally control him. So we normally control him. He's a problem for everybody else. We normally control him.
I remember last year he might have had 2 sacks in the first 2 plays of the game. If I'm not mistaken.
I think he did. And number 11 is Jaden Reed, second-year man out of Western Michigan.
Yeah, we're gonna need that jersey, dog.
Jaden Reed, holla at me, cuz.
Is he the one that has a Liz Frank foot injury they announced today?
He's got the other one. It's not Liz. It's the Jones Frank or the Jones.
The Jones. Okay.
Yeah,
Jones fracture. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, so he gonna be out anyway.
No,
they say he's gonna play
through it. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
that's gonna hurt.
J-Dub, who's a resident Cowboy fan, he said, we don't really have a choice when Jerry Jones is running the organization. We know he's going to trade away the best players or in some way ruin the team. Perry's giddy. He's laughing hard. 4-year, 188 from the Packers. Wow. He said Reggie White 2.0.
And you know the thing about it is they don't have to pay. They're not paying anybody. They drafted a bunch of young receivers that haven't really panned out, and some of them, are still under contract. So they're living life there. They don't have
the youngest team in the league, right?
Yeah. 30 in a row. 30 in a row. They have the youngest team.
I mean, I feel like they're only paying Love. I don't know who else really has a big contract there, and they stay competitive. LaFleur can coach him up, that's for sure. Keeps him in the mix.
Jesse said making the highest paid non-QB in the NFL. Jesse said my Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers week 1. I know now we're going to be on national TV. That was going to be on national TV anyway because the way how the Lions been playing, that's a national TV game. We're not talking about the Cleveland Browns. We're talking about the Detroit Lions.
And then you got the storyline there because you lost your 2 coordinators on the team. So you wonder what that effect is now because you saw it in Philly. Philly loses their 2. They start out okay, but then down the stretch, they struggle. Like, what's that scenario going to look like in Detroit? Now, Detroit does get a health in Aiden Hutchinson and a lot of those guys that were hurt last year on that defense. They get a lot of those guys back, but we don't know.
They still got a gel, still got to come together. I think it's one of my things with, I don't want to change anything to Joe Witt, but I think Joe Witt knows the scheme, but I question his ability to in-game play calling and instincts. I haven't seen that from him yet. So, you can know good defense, but you still got to call plays at the right time and be able to dial it up. So we'll see if the Lions are able to put that together here first part of the year.
See, and I thought he was just a victim of just when your corners can't really play. I mean, you can't hide but so much. You don't have a great pass rush. You're doing smoke and mirrors there. Your corners can't cover. Smoke and mirrors there. I thought he did a good job just to have his team or that defense somewhere near the middle of the pack, or I think they were the lower part of it, like 20 ranked defense. Just to have that was, to me, I thought it was an accomplishment.
Yeah, we'll see.
Think about what they rolled out. Week 1 last year was Forbes, St. Juice, Mike Davis, and Sam still as your corners.
Yeah, it was bad. And they like St. Juice in L.A. I don't know if you've seen any of those reports. Yeah, I'm shocked by that. You wait till the game starts. He's awesome at practice.
I think they're going to just throw him in a zone and let him eat from there and try not to put him in much man-to-man situations.
He just doesn't have the instincts, No,
I get it.
Did you see Forbes put on some weight? He's got a little bit more muscle.
I mean, he couldn't lose no more.
Where did he put it?
Arms. His arms. He got the gun show. Like he was sitting there holding the weights, and it's the gun show. Now, I wanted to see his legs because that's what he needed. He needed the weight at because he had no legs. He had spindly legs, as the old folks
look like Big Bird out there.
Now, to his credit, it's a guy. There's a guy
that went
to 4 Super Bowls, and those spindly legs like that got him out of a lot of jams. And he's famous, Hall of Fame. He's a college Hall of Fame and a Pro Football Hall of Fame, and known for the flu game at Notre Dame, known for as Joe Cool, sometimes the comeback kid, but Joe Montana didn't have no calf muscles. He had no definition. So it kind of can work. Just saying.
No, because the real story of Forbes is how on draft night we're sitting there because we keep thinking that the kid Gonzalez, the cornerback that's falling from Oregon, is the pick.
Yeah.
And I had to muzzle myself that night because the red juice and vodka was flowing. And when that happened, I tried my best to be diplomatic and say the right things and not call Ron Rivera every name besides God-given. So, yeah.
Yeah, because we were sitting right here, live.
Mm-hmm.
Live.
What was it? Jamin and then Dotson and then Forbes? Is that
That's it.
My God.
First upset of the season, Maddie said. Yeah. USF up 10 on the number 25 Boise State.
Yeah.
I think I got that. Hold on. Let's look at the ticket, baby.
Maddie, I'm glad that was a oop off the backboard because that's a good transition. We got to do part 2 of our college football preview real quick because we had 2 more questions that we had to ask. Of course, JC is on special assignment tonight. He's out after a fire show last night on In the Passenger Seat. If you have not checked that out, please go check that out. It's on all your streaming platforms. It's on Facebook and YouTube and everything. Go check that out because that was a fire interview that Jack and Midnight Rider put together, and you will not be disappointed. You guys going again on Monday?
No, Monday.
Monday's Labor Day. Shit.
I think actually no, but I think he does have somebody.
Okay.
Looking for he might need a co-host because I might be fantasy football draft out and yeah.
So we'll make sure we put that schedule out because we got a lot coming up, and before we get off this show, we'll run down the schedule for the next week, starting with the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs on Saturday. First up. Sleeper teams. Is there a team in college football that you think is going to make some noise? Because I got a team that I think is going to fall off a cliff. And they're not a sleeper team per se, but they're going to go to sleep. And I'm not too mad about it. But Midnight Rider.
Talk to me. Sleeper teams?
Yeah. You got any sleeper teams?
I don't know if I think they're ranked number 15 in the country, Illinois. I don't know if they count as a sleeper, but I'm a sucker for a team with an experienced quarterback and a good defense. And I think that's kind of where Illinois is right now. They're a team that I like. I think Indiana's another team that can make some noise with their quarterback situation. I think Florida's only problem is their schedule. But with DJ Lagway, the receiving core that they just brought in, I think they're another team that can be exciting. And then the fourth team I had was Nebraska. Dylan Rioli, I think that's how you say his name. He likes to be called Baby Mahomes, I think, or he likes to do everything Mahomes did. I don't think he really does, but he mimics, like, it's almost like Kobe-esque, mimicking Mike and doing everything Mike did. He does pretty much everything that Patrick does in his warm-ups. But the kid's good. He does all the platform throws, all the off angles, sidearm, 3/4, all that. So I mean, I get it. They have an opportunity again with a good quarterback. I think the world's your oyster. You can do a little bit of anything when you can control the best position or the most important position on the field, and that's quarterback.
Yeah, I'm with you on Nebraska. That's one name I keep hearing. I think Matt Rule there.
Yep.
He's had a great recruiting class. Emmett Johnson's a nice back. I don't know if you guys have seen him too much. So he He can carry the load and really control, line of scrimmage. So yeah, we'll see. I think Nebraska would be my pick for a sleeper there in the Big Ten.
That cat from Nebraska, that he's a Mahomes fanboy. Like, he cuts his hair like Mahomes. He does everything like Mahomes. And I used to get Kobe stuff about his Jordan-esque, hearing things about that. And it's like, I got older and I realized imitation is a sincere form of flattery. And I kind of chilled out on it. Kobe was my nemesis. And I love messing with him, But this right here, I think this is borderline stalkerish in a way. But the kid's good. He's pretty good. So I like to see what he comes out with. But I got a team that's not a sleeper, but I think Ohio State is going to fall off a cliff.
Really?
I do. I think Ohio State's going to fall off a cliff. They lost a lot of key players. Yeah,
but they got more where that came from.
Yeah,
they always do.
that budget, that budget don't change too much, bro. You know what I'm saying? They had one of the highest payrolls last year, and they might have one this year. And before we get out of this, remind me to talk about something that Dion proposed or was thinking about.
Okay, now this is more wishful thinking than anything, because I'm still bitter about that championship game. I want to see Ohio State fall off a cliff. I like, you don't understand how I was punching air that night. I saw the Ohio State logo and started punching it. Like, I'm still bitter, and I'm going to be. Come on now, I'm the same guy that's bitter 35 years after Rocket Ishmael got snubbed for the Heisman.
No, you went with that one.
Yeah,
here's another one. Your favorite T-shirt in the world, your Carolina T-shirt.
Why you gotta bring that up? It's not even April, man. I was just talking to my mom about that today. We're not doing that.
What, man? Your mom was being a very nice lady, brought you a shirt of a team that's a winner, the North Carolina Tar Heels, because she was trying to console you. She saw you were heartbroken that, your boy Chris Webber called a timeout when they didn't have any.
Keith, are you familiar with this story real quick?
No, hit me with it.
Okay. 1993. I'm 11 years old. This was what kicked off the worst summer of my life.
Ray Parrington.
It was not. I was a big Fab Five fan. When I say big, I'm talking bald head, black socks, black shoes, everything. Baggy shorts, everything. Yeah. Fab Five. When they made it to the championship against North Carolina, I was sitting in my living room by myself watching the game, and it was up and down, up and down. I thought North Carolina was trash. Like, I did not like Eric Montrose one bit because of that game. When Chris Webber got the inbound at the end of that game, and he dragged his foot, I was like, oh, no. And then when he took off up court and he ran into the corner, I was like, no, don't call timeout. He called timeout. I dropped down on my knees. When they hit the 2 free throws, I laid down. And when I knew they wasn't coming back, I started boo-hoo crying. And I mean, I'm talking boo-hoo crying like I just lost everything. Everything's gone. My mom was asleep because she had to go to work. So we were on spring break, so she had to go to work. She said, are you crying? Yeah. She said, go to bed. Just go to bed. And I went in my room and I cried myself to sleep. She went to North Carolina later that week for the weekend. And she came back and she brought me a North Carolina championship T-shirt. And it had all their championship years on it. And it was this crazy design with it was screen print, but then it would raise up as you got into the early years, so the logo would kind of jump out at you. And I opened the bag and I pulled it out and I looked at it. And I was like, I don't want it. I've never told my mother I didn't want anything. I told her I don't want it. My grandmother said, say thank you. I was like, I don't want it. My grandmother said, say thank you. I said, thank you. I didn't wear that shirt for like 3 years. Only reason why I wore it because I needed a shirt and it was the only thing I had clean at the time to go play ball in. And that's when I started wearing it. But my mother gets a kick out of that. And I said, see, you created a villain right there. Because now I'm hardcore when it comes to it. I told her, I said, you know what's going to happen? Someone buy you a Dallas Cowboy jersey. Because I know you hate the Cowboys. I'm buy you a Dallas Cowboy jersey. every year for your birthday.
You wash your car with it now, or
no. Actually, I had it up until maybe about 10 years ago. I had passed it down to Dario had it for a little bit. You had
so what was it? Carolina blue with white letters, or
no? It was one of the, remember the old school 90s gray t-shirts that had like the
okay, yep.
It was one of those, and I didn't like wearing it in the summer because if you sweating that, everybody gonna see you sweating. So that was more of my wintertime shirt.
Okay.
And I passed it down to Dario, and it had like a basketball going through a backboard that was breaking with the North Carolina mascot, and then it had their championship years at the bottom, and I was like,
look at that shirt. Okay. Shirt ingrained in your memory, boy. You see? So that's what happens. Things don't get fine. Things get finer when you mess with Carolina, baby. You should have just wore the t-shirt and joy. Understood that was a life lesson your mom was teaching you, and she's a beautiful person for it.
Okay. Love her to death, but okay. JoJo feels excellent. She says, wow, she happy about that MPP trade. She got the Micah Parsons problem now. And Maddie said, watch out for Toledo and the MAC.
Yes, they've got a quarterback and a wide receiver. I forgot about that. Yes, they got a quarterback and a wide receiver that they're going to cause some troubles. Definitely.
Check that out. Write that down.
Jesse said, don't y'all talk about my Michigan Wolverines basketball team. Coach Fisher told him we didn't have any more timeouts. Chris Webber said that his teammate told him call timeout. Yeah, isn't it? Excuse me.
The bench was yelling. The bench was yelling. Timeout.
Yeah. If you look in the replay when he walked over it was a couple of players like, yeah, good, you called timeout. He looked back and was like, he said a couple of expletives, but yeah, but the solace that I have in all of that happening, if you remember the show 5 Reasons Why, they broke down the 5 reasons why this never happened. All that stuff was vacated. It never happened. It never happened.
Oh, it happened. I saw it. I saw it on TV. I can go to YouTube right now.
That was all you that.
I will post it on your page for you personally, so you can see the whole game from the beginning. So let's not do that.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Okay.
Your team win projection. What do you think your team's going to do this year?
So my team is, of course, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, coming off of a runner-up in a national championship. So somewhere there's a kid in a third world country rocking a Notre Dame Fighting Irish championship T-shirt, and it's for that kid that I make this projection. I think they make the playoffs as like the 12 seed, but I think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle because you're replacing the quarterback. And again, we talk about quarterback being one of the most important positions. They do have a nice running game and a defense. So my number, I got them winning 10. And this is a push. This is a little homerism with 10. I think it's more of a 9, but I'm going to push for 10 because I want them to get in those last little playoff spots. Because
for me, I'll keep this really, really short. I'm a Florida State Seminole fan going way back to Charlie Ward and them boys. We don't have a good team, the Military Bowl. I mean, I think a 6-6 record, honestly, for us would be saying something. We got some work to do. A lot of turnover there with the staff. So, I mean, 7 wins maybe. I think 6-6 is probably a more realistic approach for us this year. Going to be sitting there in the bottom of the division for sure, or the conference, I should say.
I am also a Notre Dame fan, and that I had to look at you with the side eye, Keith, when you said those Charlie Ward Seminoles, because they gave y'all that '93 championship. Good team, but they gave y'all that championship. That was Notre Dame's championship, and to see that happen, 3 years in a row? 90, 91, 89, 90. 92 and 93. 4 years. We were cheated out of a championship because of politics, but it's okay. It's all right.
Well, join a conference.
Shouldn't have to.
Less problems.
Shouldn't have to. Shouldn't have to. But I think Notre Dame, gets back into the playoff, I don't know if they'll get back to the championship because we iffy at quarterback right now. You know, there is no Sam Hartman. There is no Riley Leonard. Then you also got to remember Arnaz Battle's not walking through that door. Jimmy Claus is not walking through that door. He's not walking through that door.
Neither is Joe Theismann. Damn.
Everett Golson, Joe Montana, Terry Hanratty is not walking through that door. So, I mean, Paul Hornung's not walking through that door.
Oh my gosh, this man said Arnaz Battle.
I love Arnaz Battle. Thank you very much. Kevin McDougal's not walking through that door. But I think this may be a playoff run, but I don't think it's going to be deep. I'll give Notre Dame 10 wins. Nope. Give me 11 wins for Notre Dame.
That's a big number, boy.
Yeah, it is. But it's going to be on the strength of the running game. Ground and pound, baby. Ground and pound.
Well, you get your big test Saturday coming out the gate.
Yeah. Now, remember, they lost early last year.
Northern Illinois. Don't remind me.
But that was a paid loss. We were paid to take a dive. Yes.
Wow.
Rick Miles. Rick Miles not walking through that door. Tony Rice is not walking through that door. See, I'm naming all these great Notre Dame quarterbacks.
Don't say that word. Don't say that word before they. You're naming quarterbacks. You're naming quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're not great ones. Just people that took snaps from under center. That's it.
Okay. You remember we talked about this on Tuesday, Keith. A particular player that you felt loyal to that really wasn't that great.
Yeah, I said Trent Green at the time. I think
Right.
we were talking about Skins
Right.
quarterbacks, right, or players.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my guy, Trent Green.
And when it comes to Notre Dame, Arnaz Battle, Everett Golson, I'll down the hill for Everett Golson.
Oh my God.
I'll down the hill for him. He's a guy, and that's in my adulthood. As far as a young buck, Ron Paulus was my guy that really wasn't all that great, but Ron Paulus is my guy. I sat down every Saturday to watch Ron Paulus play.
Damn, I don't even know who the hell that is.
Oh, he was one of the highest ranked quarterbacks coming into the in the college that year. I think he was a 5-star. They basically thought he could walk on water. And then when he got there, I think they realized that there was plate glass under the water, and that's how he walked on it because he wasn't that good.
A little plexiglass happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 51, so he's older. Okay.
Yeah, he was mid-90s. He was, matter of fact, he was a quarterback. It was Rick Meyer, Kevin McDougal for that one season. I think that one season was 92. Or was that, no, Kevin McDougal was 93. And then Ron Paulus was 94. Because Kevin McDougal was the quarterback in 93 that almost led us to a championship. But politics. Showtime Sir said, are we worried about Boise? Wow.
Yep. I'm worried. They're in trouble.
STO, maybe one if they're lucky. Jesse said, Michigan Wolverines football starting QB will be a freshman Underwood 5-star.
Yeah, he's built like a tank. I don't know what factory or lab they found him in, but they went to the QB factory and built this kid.
Shout out to the QB factory.
Oh dang, I didn't even think about that.
Plugged it. Maddie said, I called this Boise loss on the show yesterday. J Dub said, let's go. We need another Indy championship. We do. I would love my kids to see that. I would love to see that. And Showtime Sir said, you claimed a chance. You didn't call it.
Ooh.
Sophia says, what's up, Commanders gang? What's happening, Sophia? How you doing? J Dub said Notre Dame had great college quarterbacks. I believe that. They just didn't pan out in the NFL. So, and speaking of NFL, let's go ahead and switch back to the NFL real quick because this is a question that was asked.
Before you go there,
yes.
We were in college football, and Deion Sanders.
I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Deion Sanders has been. I guess he went on either a show. I forgot where he had this conversation, but he talked about because of the playoff system, players actually getting paid for each playoff win in the college playoffs. So that's just something to think about. That's just something that's on the horizon. We don't have to go into the details, but that thought process is out there, and a couple other people have kind of jumped in with that idea and championed that might be a possibility, or that should be something that might happen. Because you think about these kids signed up for the regular season in a bowl game. Well, you get 3 more games added onto your body when you're playing college football and you make it to the finals in the championship. So that's just the thing. I just wanted to put it out there.
So real quick, is that a recruiting, is that a positive or negative? How was he interpreting that? Because that could be a way to make more money, right?
I think he interpreted as we make so much money off of these games. Some of this money should be going to these kids. He's always been a proponent of that. So I think that's what he's thinking. Like, you know how in the NFL, there's a pool of money for the playoffs, and say, it's not your regular salary. So say you get 10,000, and I'm making these numbers up. Like, if a team wins, you get 10,000 that week for the win, or you get 5,000 for that win. And then
so he's talking about the playoff teams, not like just the bowl eligible teams.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, just the playoff teams.
Right. Okay. Well, that would incentivize you to get recruited at a school that you think can make the playoffs, because you can take another bite at the apple.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, but you also got to remember now the way the recruiting goes, you got to go somewhere first and establish yourself before you can get to some of the bigger schools. Because a lot of these big schools aren't taking the chance anymore on the 5-star kid from Oklahoma. They'll take the kid that was a 4-star that played at Western Kentucky and is shown there, and they'll take that shot first before they take the freshman shot sometimes.
The transfer, yeah. Makes sense.
Showtime Sarah said, I miss seeing Sam Hartman on the screen for reasons. Too bad Washington released him. Oh, no, he was just released from the main squad. He's on the practice squad.
He's back.
I'm trying to get in touch with Sam Hartman myself because I want to be his agent. Abercrombie and Fitch, Dolce and Gabbana. I getting all these calls asking me, hey, man, I know you in DC. Can you get in touch with this cat? Sam Hartman called me. These people want to see you. Like, grandmas love you, man. I can get you in the Sears catalog. I can get you in the Montgomery Ward catalog if you want.
Oh. There you go.
I got you. Showtime Sarah want to see you. I got you. Sir, I got you. Trust me. If I can get this deal, I got you. J-Dub, exactly. The only one I can remember that made it good in the NFL was Joe Montana.
Talking about Notre Dame quarterbacks?
Yeah.
There's a few more than that, but he's number one.
Yeah. Joe Theismann's behind him.
Oh, speaking of a guy, Sean Kaiser. DeShone
Kaiser. I remember him.
I forgot the lefty he replaced, that wore number 9. I just could not believe that Brian Kelly started that guy. And you may not know this, Keith, but I love Brian Kelly so much. He's the greatest coach I've ever seen in my life. All lies. I cannot stand that dude. They went, whatever season they struggled, they lost 5 ball games because of his coaching. So Brian Kelly can go down to LSU and be mediocre for the rest of his life, and I don't care. Him and his family, because he did it for his family.
Malik Zaire.
Zaire. I just looked it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I remember him. Now that you say it.
Jesse said Tom Brady from Michigan Wolverines is the GOAT in the NFL. Debatable.
Yeah, too bad y'all didn't want to play him when he was there.
Exactly. Sarah said Maddie, Ohio caught up to Rutgers.
Yeah, it's 31-31.
NC State surviving ECU at the half, but it'll be very interesting season for sure.
Ooh, come on, ECU.
Nebraska at Cincinnati tonight at 9.
That's all. We got time. Okay.
Jesse also said I have a Montgomery a Montgomery book. Yeah, I got one too. A Montgomery Ward book. I got. Was looking in there at bed spreads. We'll talk about that later. That was crazy. That was fun though.
I had was it that or was it oh man. Go ahead, answer her question. And
how many yards do you think Bill is gonna run this year? I'm gonna go ahead and give him a quick 1,000. It's not gonna be nothing real huge. It's not gonna be 1,500. Give him a quick 1,000. Because running back by committee.
I think 600 or 700 yards would be exceptional.
I think if he gets 6, I'm very good where you are, Keith. I think once you see it split up, because I think C-Rod's going to start the first couple weeks, and then they're going to work Bill in slow.
I think Eckler's going to start, but that's just me.
No, Eckler's going to come in on third down, and he's a great pass protector. He's going to be a pass option on third down. I see Eckler in that role, same as last year. No change.
So last year they did start in Tampa Bay, and Eckler was the first back on the field. Unfortunately, that play went backwards about 25 yards. But yeah, I mean, I think they're going to do it so much by committee that it's almost like when Joe Witt tells you, "Don't worry about who the starting defense is. We got 17 guys that we're going to play." I think that's kind of how the offense is. I think they got about 15 or 17 guys they're going to play. I think he gets 6. I think Eckler gets around 4, and I think Rodriguez gets about 3 or 4 as well. But I do think he takes the job over towards the end of the season.
Yeah. I mean, I think the short yardage will be Rodriguez. The goal line will be Rodriguez. Bill will come in, like you said. He'll probably come in second down or sparingly, like every other series, that kind of thing, for a change of pace. And then, like I said, third down, a lot of fourth downs. Cliff's going to be going for it a lot. You'll see Eckler out there.
I love that. I just want to let that be known. I love that. Speaking of NFL, I love that he goes for it on fourth down. I love that.
No joke. Speaking
of NFL, Tom Brady's access. Is it fair? That's the question that Midnight Rider posted. I'm gonna throw it to you first, Keith, and then I'll go after Midnight Rider.
Hell no, it ain't fair. It ain't fair. I mean, you can't have a part owner of a franchise with inside access, behind the curtain access to players, to schemes, to conversations with, ownership, players, coaches. I mean, he could just really be on a recruiting trail to pick off talented coaches in the near future. I just think the access is too easy. I mean, some of these meetings, they're very, the networks are asking the players and the coaches to be candid about their thought process, or maybe what to expect in the upcoming game. I don't see how, I heard maybe something about Zoom calls, him not being there in person. I don't care. I just don't feel like that. I think that's an unfair competitive advantage for Vegas. How about you, Midnight Rider?
I think the only thing that makes it not unfair is because Mark Davis is still in charge in Oakland, in Vegas. That's the only thing that messes it up, that could possibly help mess it up. Yeah. But honestly, I think the problem is what you said. I think you said everything exactly how I would have said it. It's the access that he's going to get is too much. It's not fair. If that team is playing his team somewhere down the line on the schedule, you got to feel some kind of way about talking to him about stuff. And I think some teams are going to purposely hold some information back because they know they play the Raiders in week 5 or week 7, and they're not going to give him that information. They're not going to have that conversation in front of them. That
hurts all of us as fans, because now the broadcast won't be as good, or the pregame show with the tips and the access, what to look forward to during the game, or conversations that Laura Oakman had, or whoever it is out there on the, what I mean, like all that stuff's going to be restricted. So I just don't think the product will be quite the same. So I'd be curious to see is it final? Like, is it?
They haven't finalized anything. It's just kind of one of those things that have been put on the radar. Just like the other thing that's been put on our radar is the issue with YouTube TV and Fox.
Yep.
If you don't know, and you have YouTube TV and you're using that for your NFL content, there's a big issue right now with Fox, where they're in a dispute over, I guess, carrier fees and things of that nature. So it's a possibility Saturday, you may not have the Ohio State game on Texas game on your TV come Saturday morning. So you might want to be mindful of that. You might want to start making plans to go to a friend's house or a bar if you have YouTube TV, and that's your only source for having for getting Fox or your local Fox.
I wonder if there's any. I'm just thinking out loud here. If there's any establishments, you know what I mean, that have YouTube TV that may have an issue at the bar.
There's plenty. There's gonna be plenty of those. Because you bought the YouTube TV, so you can get the Sunday ticket and all the other access.
Right.
But it's always funny how it's always either right before the season start, one of these things comes up, or right before baseball starts or whatever. It's always in the beginning. Oh, South Florida versus Boise.
31-7.
11:48 left in the fourth.
Sophia, she agreed with you, Keith?
This sounds. Wait. This looks like a little insider information going on here. This seems like this might be a connection. I'm just saying.
It's potentially.
This may not be like a fan of the show.
No, she's a sports fan through and through. 100%. Yeah.
Might be a significant other of some sort. All I'm saying.
That's my daughter, Sophia. She's a rising senior this year. She's committed to play soccer at Greensboro College, fall of 2026. So, welcome to the show, Sophia.
Welcome
in to the mix for either for in the passenger seat one time, and let her talk to us about some recruiting and stuff like that.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll get with Jack and figure out the schedule, and definitely get Sophia involved.
All right, there you go. I like it.
And Sophia also asked Redskins record predictions. I gotta go low.
She doesn't say Commanders?
Nah.
Okay, all right.
When you fit in, you fit in.
The apple don't fall far from the tree.
I'm going low. I'm just gonna say 9.
Oh, I think 11. I think if this run game can do what it's supposed to do, and you're going to get the Debo effect in your run game, I think you get another playmaker. I think the second half, I think if you want to play the Commanders, you better play them weeks 1 through 6. That's your time to catch them. If you don't catch them in 1 through 6, I think as long as Jaden's healthy, down the stretch, whether it's Bill, what you're getting from the kid Lane, the Debo effect, I think Amos is going to have an impact. I think this team could really be special. The problem is the gauntlet they're facing is going to limit them to 11 wins, as opposed to them getting maybe the 12 or 13.
Yeah, I'm going to go 10. For a few reasons. I do think the defense is going to be better. I love the trio of Amos, Sanders, Still, and Lattimore. I mean, I just think that changes the scheme, I think, so much for Joe Witt. Not very deep at linebacker. If we got a problem with Louisville or Wagner, there's going to be an issue there as far as depth's concerned. The quarterbacks we're playing this year and the quarterbacks we played last year, I mean, I don't see Spentler Rattler on the schedule this year. All the one-score games, so that we won, we came on the right side of with some, we went out and earned, and some were some good fortune, the Hail Mary, for instance. So yeah, I'm gonna go 10.
But don't forget, they practice these scenarios and they actually work on getting being in place with these 2-minute drives, these red zone things. They practice it so much that it's part of their thing. Like, it was amazing to me last year. One thing I noticed is we always responded, and that didn't happen all the time. It's like
winning time moment. Yeah,
winning time moments. And if you needed that drive, whether it was in the second quarter, right before the half, you got those points, and then came out at the beginning of the second half and scored again, and you made that run. And it's funny how people call that analytics, but we've been doing that on Madden since Madden came out. You defer, you kick the first half, and you receive the second half. It's been a Madden thing. I've done it for the last ever since I played Madden. So it's not analytics, baby.
I hope we keep the approach. I think in the offseason last year, they knew they were going to go for it on a lot of fourth downs, and just knowing that going in, like you said, you plan for that, you practice that, that creates good habits, that creates good results. So I hope they don't take their foot off the gas when it comes to, third and longs or fourth and shorts, take swings at it.
Well, they even said, I don't mean to cut you out, KG, but they even said that in their pre-work was one of the things that Dan Quinn was talking about. He was like, we map this stuff out sometimes before the game. So we know we get in this situation, say it's 4th and 3 from the 40. They already know we're going for it because we've already had that conversation. And that's one of the things he said he learned when he came back to coach again. It was one of the lessons he took from his time in Atlanta. That's all. I'm sorry.
KG. That's good. Maddie said, talking about Tom Brady. I thought it was made clear he can't do the meetings.
They changed that this season. They gave him access.
And Boy Wonder is clueless. Yeah, Boy Wonder been clueless. Coach Powell says Redskins all day. Most definitely. And speaking of, I had so much fun watching that team last year. I'm scared about this season. I'm literally scared of this upcoming season. So that's why I went so low.
Why?
Because
you got 105. You got 5.
I get that, but it's something that Thanos coined 2 years ago. PTSD.
Yes, Thanos coined
having a good season and then coming back and we're not, and then we go 4-12. We can't put back-to-back good seasons.
Here's the difference. You have number 5, and like Thanos, he is inevitable. That's all I'm gonna say.
I got you.
I don't know where we are in the show run. So
look, I'm throwing stuff together. I thought we have golf to talk about, right?
We do. We got Ryder Cup to talk.
Ryder Cup. I was trying to figure out what it is. Let's hit this U.S. Open, then we can finish up with Ryder Cup. That way, we got all the time in the world. Did you guys see the clash?
Yes.
What's her name? Taylor Townsend and Jesus just had it pulled up. Jelena.
Yes.
Ostapenko.
Yes. I loved it.
She told this after she beat her. She told this young lady that she didn't have no class. She told her you need to learn how to take a loss better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what you want from me on this one. This. Hey. Sometimes when somebody beats you, you gotta have class in the loss just as much as they gotta have class in the win. And I felt like last night she was upset because the young lady didn't do anything that I saw. I don't remember seeing anything where it was like unsportsmanlike or like she went prancing around the thing or anything like that. She won, she screamed, and she was happy. I mean, if I missed something, please let me know. But yeah.
I think she was mad because the way they warmed up. You know how you
got you.
And usually you go baseline to baseline when you're warming up, but she started in the dead center of the court, and I guess it was probably intentional. I think it was gamesmanship, to be honest. It's really a good job by her. But yeah, you talk about being a sore loser. I mean, that's really all that really was for me. I mean, it's classless. Talking about she can't beat her and her out of the US or something like that. Come on, man.
And apparently she has beaten her out of the US.
Canada.
Yeah.
In Canada. Yeah.
Maybe geography isn't her best thing. It's kind of like the guys on the show, Jack and KG. They're not good at math, so that might be her weak spot.
Still taking strays.
Moving right along. A couple of comments. Coach Powell said, "Prepare for situational football. That's what winners do." I agree with that.
Oh, tell Coach, good luck to the scrimmage against Leonardtown.
Yeah, most definitely with that. And J Dub said, I think Jaden Daniels takes them to the NFC Championship again, 11-6.
Man, that's coming from a Cowboys fan.
Yeah. Jesse said, my Detroit Lions has the hardest road games at Eagles, Redskins, Ravens, Rams, 49ers, Packers, Vikings. That's not hard, man. Chill.
That looks
All
pretty
right.
hard to me.
So let me go ahead and put a pet peeve of mine out here now. I hate when people talk schedules because if you're in the same division, you have about 13 or 14 of your games that are already picked out because y'all all play the same people. There's just a 3-game difference, and those 3 games are picked based on where you finish in your division versus everybody else, and you play that team that finished in the same spot as you. Mm-hmm. So the days of somebody saying, oh, they got a hard schedule, they got an easy schedule now. We play the same 13. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys got to play the NFC North, the AFC West, and the 3 teams in their division. Those are all guarantees. All guarantees. They lie. So don't cry to me about schedules. Sorry.
And Jesse chimed in and said she beat her in Canada and Australia. And J Dub said, I'm a Jaden Daniels fan too. Oh, see, ain't nothing wrong with that. Now
that's what happens when you win them ones.
Let's get to some Ryder Cup. Now this is Keith's thing. Like this is where they choose teams, correct? This is where you put your teams together.
Yeah. So real quick, guys. The first of all, it's a little bit of a mission of mine. If I really want to try to educate and inform, everyone that's a part of the Sideline Junkies Network podcast about golf. You guys know golf's my jam. It's my thing. It's what I know, better than absolutely anything else. But the Ryder Cup is exactly 1 month and 1 day away. Okay. Right. I think it's September 26th, something like that. But
didn't Keegan pick the teams?
Keegan picked the teams, but I just want to set the table real quick. This is a team golf event where obviously, golf, we all know it as an individual sport. But imagine playing on a team when you usually play as an individual, and then you're going to play for your country at the exact same time. So each team, Europe, which consists of all of Europe, and the United States, has 12 players. 6 players qualify by points throughout the whole entire golf season. 6 additional players are selected by the team captain. So that was done yesterday by Keegan Bradley. So look, this is this fandom, this Ryder Cup is in New York this year on Staten Island at what they call Bethpage Black. It's a public golf course. It's not some hoity-toity country club somewhere. This is a golf course that, that's municipal, that the locals play all the time. People just like myself are caddies at golf course like this. So this is going to be it's an epic venue. It's going to be an epic event. I hope to come on the podcast here as we get a little closer and we can start talking about matchups and all those types of things. But I just wanted to take a moment, sort of set the table for the Ryder Cup. It's going to be an unbelievable event. USA lost this event 2 years ago in Italy. They got smoked. So there's some revenge on the line. The Europeans did not treat our golfers very well this last go around. A lot of slurs, a lot of, and we're going to give it back to them. This is going to feel like an NFL game in golf. You think of golf with the golf claps and all that stuff. It's not going to be like that. I mean, these fans are going to raise hell. So everyone get ready. It's a 3-day event. It's a race to 14.5 points, 1 point for each match. We'll kind of get into those details, hopefully, as we get a little closer to the event. But I just wanted to take a minute, talk about the Ryder Cup, get it on everyone's radar, put it on your calendar. It's going to be a big deal, and hopefully I'll be back to talk about it a little bit more in the future.
The beautiful part about this was Keegan Bradley he had the option to pick himself.
Oh, yeah.
He was probably well within his rights with the way he played this year to put himself in the mix. And I think I respect, well, I'm not saying I think, I know I respect the fact that he didn't pick himself, because I think he thought the duties as the coach or the person that ran the team was more important than actually playing in it. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so there's 12 players, 24 players, right? He's ranked number 11 in the world currently. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, in his press conference yesterday, he said, maybe a month ago, 6 weeks ago, he would have been playing, but there's a couple guys that earned their way on the team. Sam Burns, Patrick Cantlay, Colin Morikawa. They all bring something different, either experience. Sam Burns is the best putter in the world. You guys will see that. I mean, this man can makes it from everywhere. So I think he felt comfortable. I think he was hired or brought on to be the captain, and now he can be just that. Only one person has been the captain and a player, and that was Arnold Palmer. Unfortunately, Arnold Palmer's not alive. You can't call him and ask him how he, what his approach was, or how he did things. So I think, it's pretty a selfless thing, and he could have really been, cocky and said, "Look, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna be the captain of the team, and we're gonna win this thing." But I think he did the right thing. We've got, like 7 of the top 12 players in the world, on our squad. The Europeans are deep. Their picks are Monday. Their 6 captain picks. Luke Donald's going to make their selections on Monday. I expect it to be all the same team as they had the same players as 2 years ago. Maybe 1 or 2 that might be different, but there'll be a season. There'll be a deep crew, to steal something from Joe Witt. They're going to bring a lot of really good players. We'll see. It's all going to take place on the golf course. So excited about it.
Can I give you a wild card question?
Yeah, hit me.
This isn't Ryder Cup, but it's in the theme that we've talked about today.
Yeah.
Where KG asked, what was that? What's that one person that you like that maybe you shouldn't like, or is maybe overrated? I forgot how we asked this. But the guy that I've fallen. Go ahead, KG.
The one player that's not the greatest, but he was your guy.
So my guy is Tony Finau.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if he's going to take the opportunity and run with it. Ever since he dislocated his ankle and then popped it back in and finished that tournament, he was my dog ever since. But I don't know if he got
crazy
it.
To see. Yeah.
I just don't know if he has it. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm right.
No, I think that's a great pick. Tony should be on this team, man. He's had a very disappointing last 18 months. I don't know. I know he's got a million kids and a lot of stuff going on, but he's really struggled. There's a guy named Sahith Theegala is my current guy that I just love to watch him play. He's got a great golf swing. He's struggling, as well. So right now, I think that would be. Have you guys ever watched First Swing on Netflix? You ever watch that series?
I watched it for a little bit. So I think Koepka was on it, if memory serves me correctly.
Oh yeah, Koepka's been on there. Yeah.
I think I watched the first season, but I just couldn't. My attention span with TV shows is funny because if I get out of the show or I don't stay continuous with it,
it
just falls off the map, and I move on to something else or I'm somewhere else.
Sure.
But I thought it was a good, like the production that I saw, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's sort of I got behind the curtain on Theegala. I really just loved his approach. He came from playing dirt track courses, as we call them, and working his way up. I kind of like that lunch pail sort of approach. So it's a guy I've clinged on to the last couple of years, but I really root for him hard. He's just similar to Finau. He's really struggling. So hopefully he can get things turned around.
See, back in the day, I'm not going to say he wasn't good or he wasn't great. I love Chi Rodriguez. He was a showman. And anytime I could watch him play and I was just in front of the TV, I was like, I'm able to say that I was able to watch Nicholas. I was able to watch Arnold Palmer on the senior tour. I was able to watch those guys.
Yeah.
As a youngin'. Of course, I watched Tiger. But Chi Rodriguez, he was my dude. Him and Vijay Singh, I love watching play. And the Shark, Greg Norman. Those were my guys, man.
Those are some good. There's some great names.
That's an interesting threesome, though. From like that, it's kind of like they don't kind of belong together, but it's interesting that you picked those 3. Chi was always the showman, the sword thing,
Yeah, because Chi didn't win a lot. I mean, he won a few times on the senior tour. He was really unnoticeable when he was on the regular tour. I mean, he was just a guy, you know what I mean? But he was a showman, and he brought eyeballs to the game for sure. Another guy was Lee Trevino. If you guys remember, a guy that really, outspoken, a lot of flair, a lot of character. And he won major championships, though. I mean, Lee could golf his ball.
I mean, let's not forget the guy that was in contention a couple of years ago. I think it was the British, was Tom Watson.
Yep. I love Tom. I used to have Tom Watson golf clubs when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Facts.
Lee Trevino got on my radar. I lied to you not. Because of his experience, his appearance on The Simpsons.
Okay.
And I used to be a huge Simpsons fan.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
No, what's funny is I remember playing putt-putt with my dad. So we go to Virginia Beach, and we go to at least 2 putt-putts. And the first day he beat me, and I think I went to every, I just get on the trolley and played every course, and I beat him the third day because we took a 2-day break. So in those 2 days, I think every time I left out, I was going somewhere to play putt-putt because I was not losing twice. And I beat him the second time, and he started giving me a hard time. He was like, "You've been out here practicing." I was like, "Hey, it don't matter. It's what you do. Winning time moments, baby." I didn't say that. You know what I'm saying?
Maddie said, "I do love the rider golf. U.S. needs to win big time." I always feel that way.
There is a lot of pressure on it. We're going to see how these boys respond. There is going to be a country on their back.
Yeah.
Straight.
And Maddie also said, "I think the crowd will play a factor. It will be loud." Now, normally, if I'm not mistaken, with the Ryder Cup, it's loud, but the weather's not always pristine.
Well, we alternate countries, so we're going to be. It was in Europe 2 years ago. It's here now. I mean, it's going to be, end of September on Staten Island or Long Island, I should say. So, I think the weather. I mean, it could be questionable, but the course, when you host the event, you get to set up the course based off what you think your team's going to be, right? This is a long ass course because we have, DeChambeau and Scheffler and boys that can pound it. And they got Rory hits it the farthest, no doubt, but the rest of their teams not necessarily considered, bombers of the golf ball. So you get to kind of set up the course to what you think your team's strengths are. So there's all sorts of games inside the game. Then we'll get into some of the pairings. It gets down to detail about what kind of golf ball you play. Some guys play a golf ball that goes far. Some guys will play a golf ball that goes high. Some guys play a golf ball that spins a lot. And when you're playing alternate shot. So imagine I hit it off the tee, Midnight Rider hits it to the green. Wherever it ends up, I hit it, I putt it from there or chip it from there wherever it lies. So
I'm glad you putting because we might be 3-putting if I'm doing the putting.
Oh, I can roll the rock, bro. I can roll it.
And Keith, I don't know if I ever asked you this. Are you a video game player when it comes to golf?
I was as a kid. I played a lot of golf video games, but I haven't in the last 25, 30 years to be.
Okay. Because there was a game, and me and the People's Choice, Don Rodriguez, we talk about it all the time. It's a game we had at ESPN Zone called Skins Game.
Okay.
And, you can hit a power shot. So let's say it's a par 4. You hit that power shot, you could actually go over the trees and land on the green. But you had control of your ball. So when the ball started to come down, you backspin it and make it go up. And then when it hit the green, you hit, top spin. So it could roll to the cup. We had some nights on that. When I tell you I'm talking like 3, 4 in the morning. We closed at 1. We in there 3, 4 in the morning still playing. And that's where I really got into the golf game. Because then after that, I bought Tiger Woods PGA.
All right.
And that's where it started. And it was like after that, the PGA game started coming. I need to get the new PGA game when it comes out. I want to get Midnight Rider on there so we can actually have a tournament like we used to and televise that. Put that on the Sideline Junkies podcast network.
So speaking of this, Bethpage Black.
Yeah.
I was very familiar. Did they have an open at Bethpage? Because I feel like Tiger may have won there or somebody won there.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a PGA or a U.S. Open, but they've had major championships there.
Okay.
Before. Yeah, it's a prestigious.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's in the rotation of the courses that they use a lot.
there's a sign before you go to the first tee. It basically says, this course, it ain't for everybody. Basically, like if you're not this good, then
don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time. It's a monster. It's a monster. It's going to be entertaining to see. So I can't wait to watch that with you guys and follow up on a team. Hopefully USA can pull it out.
Most
My
definitely.
favorite golfers is Justin Thomas and Sam Burns.
We're going to see plenty of them at the Ryder Cup. They'll both be there.
Isn't Justin going through a little bit of a lull too? Because he was around, but then he kind of fell off a little bit. Am I wrong?
He won. I mean, last time he won was around Easter. I think it was Harbor Town down there in Hilton Head. Mm-hmm. He's like a glue guy. He galvanizes the team. I don't know if he'll be playing every single match, one of those guys, but I think he's a guy you want around. He's the most experienced player on the team at this point. So I think it's like his fifth Ryder Cup, fourth or fifth.
So you think he's more of a guy for the scrambles, or do we have to? Let me ask the question this way.
Yeah.
When you're breaking this out, does everybody have to be in a match on that day?
No.
Okay.
So there's basically 8 matches each day, right? One is going to be the alternate shot, and then in the afternoon it is what they call 4-ball, where everyone plays their own ball, 2 against 2. But guys like Scotty are going to play every session. He's going to play morning, afternoon, both Friday and Saturday. On Sunday, it's singles. It's mano a mano. So the captains go up there and he's going to say, Scotty's my 1, Justin Thomas is my 2, and then the other captain's going to go tit for tat all the way through. Sometimes those later matches are insignificant because maybe team has got 14.5 points and has the event wrapped up. So it all comes in strategy. I mean, the first thing I do is put Scotty Scheffler out there with, I don't care who, Bryson or maybe Sam Burns, because he just putts so well, and try to get off to a hot start, because that's usually who wins that first opening 2 matches, or most of the time, 60% of the time, usually wins this event. It's all about momentum and riding the wave. It really is.
And this is also one of those events where, because you ride the wave, sometimes you can get hot on a Saturday and then change the whole dynamic of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, teams have been down, 3, 4, 5 points on going into Sunday, those singles matches. USA is awesome in the singles. The bugaboo's been the team events, meshing, Like I said, golf these are creatures of habit. They eat at a certain time. They practice for a certain amount of time. Now it's like they're like in a meeting room, scheduled, almost like just like any other team sport would be. And to take these guys that got all these quirks and all these different things about them, that they're trying to mesh. They're trying to put like-minded people together. Like I said, it's down to the golf ball. Like, what kind of golf ball do you play? Because it affects the flight, the spin, and things like that. So USA is fully capable. They've got, if you really looked at the, top 50 in the world, they've got, more heavy hitters, but it's a team event. And Europe traditionally, historically over the years, has been able to play more team golf, where USA's out there, being individuals. So,
all right, Keith, so what do you play? What golf balls do you play? Now, I know there's some things with golfers where you play the free ones that you can pick up, but like, what's your golf ball of choice?
Well, the last couple of years, I used to play the Nike ball forever. So I played the Spalding. I was a Greg Norman fan as a kid, so he was a Spalding guy, and I played that. When Tiger came aboard and he had the Nike One golf ball, I played that all the way through. And then Tiger went to the Nike XO 2i, and I played that. And then when Nike got out of the manufacturing, they went just apparel. They got out of the clubs and the bags and all that stuff. I went to Callaway. So I play the Callaway Tour Chrome golf ball. I don't play the Titleist, kind of because everyone else does. The Titleists, for me, they spin a lot. So if you hit it perfect, it rewards you. If you hit it just a little bit, it doesn't miss hits, it's not as forgiving. How about that? It's more for like a tour player, in my opinion. So I play, pretty much what I would say the second best ball out there, and that's the Callaway Tour Chrome for me. They ain't cheap. It's like $54 for 12.
Say what?
$54 for 12 golf balls.
Oh, okay. All right, Keith. You must hit them straight then, because I'm not that. See, I shop in the Mojo section. Back in the day, I haven't played in about 5 years, but Mojo, you see my golf ball of choice.
Hey, Midnight Rider, we got it. We got to load up Keith some walk up music now. His walk up music, it's got to be big balling by the big timers. Whoa, Kimosabi, big balling is my hobby. $54 for 12 balls.
Yeah, but what if I play all summer with those 12? I mean, that's fine.
Okay, but
yeah, that's
all right. That's an investment. That's why golf is an investment.
Yeah. See, no, you're thinking that he's gonna be spraying this all around. He ain't that. He ain't me.
Nah.
That's why I play the ones I find, because I'm gonna spray it, and this is gonna be a donation to somebody else's golf ball next week. So
now, don't get me wrong. If I'm having a bad day, I'll find a replacement. If I'm scared one's gonna get away from me, I'm gonna protect it for sure.
Gotcha. Maddie said he loved Chi Rodriguez and he loved Payne Stewart too. Payne Stewart in the +4s.
That's a great one.
Oh my God, that's another one for me. And I wish somebody would bring that back. Back. Payne in his pants and NFL shirts too.
Yes, he did.
J Dub said, my guy was Dustin Johnson. I love his golf game. And Dustin Johnson went to a local university here in Myrtle Beach, Coastal Carolina.
It's funny how Coastal Carolina's been getting a lot of love lately.
I seen him on the milk cart.
Checking in. Happy birthday, Anthony. Today is his birthday. Check in on your birthday, man. Glad to have you here. Glad another trip around the sun, man. Hope you're having a wonderful birthday. He has a question here. He says, so you're saying golfers are OCD to the extreme?
Yes. Superstitious, OCD, all of it. Yeah. They want certain lines on their golf ball. They want their clubs cleaned a certain way. They eat the same sandwich before they go play. It's pretty bad.
He also says the U.S. has a massive lead because of the singles. Does the team event really matter?
Yes, because that starts everything. A lot of the team events at the beginning, right?
The singles are at the end.
Yeah.
So that's been the problem. They come roaring back on Sunday during the singles match, but the damage is already done. They lose 2 or 3 of the 12. The match has been over. At least that's how it was in Italy, 2023.
And Maddie said Rutgers holds off Ohio 34-31. Damn.
Yeah, the South Florida game just went final.
How bad?
4-1.
34-7.
Damn, I can't. Oh. Okay.
Guess you have a parlay on that.
I'm actually doing good right now, KG.
Okay. So how close are we going to Sizzler?
Let's not do that.
Okay. All right. Don't talk about the streak during the streak. Gotcha.
Right. Exactly. Now I know I'm going to look, but I'm trying not to. I'm gonna try to wait till like 12 o'clock after I take my 10 p.m. nap and check it.
There you go.
10 p.m. Good grief. Anthony said, "What are your opinions on the balls for Titleist, Callaway, and TaylorMade?"
Wow.
So I mean, they all make levels of golf balls for different golfers. So all their high-end golf balls, they're pretty similar. Even guys like myself that can play a little bit can't notice this incredible difference between, the golf balls. But they've got a $19.99 a dozen or $14.99 a dozen, and they got a $54 a dozen. You know what I mean? So it's just finding a golf ball that fits your skill level and price point. They all, they all have categories that, that fit your game.
That's why I like Mojo, because it was 24 for $19.99. So by halfway through the first, depending on how I was hitting on the day, halfway through the first 9, we might be down to 12. So
that's fine.
And say his favorite golfer was Sergio.
But let me ask you this, because this is me and my feeble golf career. I used to like the look. The other reason why I like the Mojos is because I would place the logo where it was facing me, and that was my aiming point, and I just try to crush that part so I can see the mojo spinning out as it goes. Do you have a certain way you set up your golf ball when you're using your driver?
Yeah, so I make a line on my ball. So I have this thing. I wish I wasn't so far from my car, but I put a line on my golf ball, and I when I put it on the tee or on the green when I putt, I kind of try to give myself a guide. That way, I know I'm trying to impact the ball with that.
Yep.
It's just like it's so easy to misalign yourself when you get up on the tee box. It just helps me sort of guide myself a little bit. So I just kind of use that as like a fail safe to make sure, I'm not aimed way left or way right. I put a big black line that runs halfway across the golf ball.
All right, cool, man.
Yeah.
All right. Final
KG.
thoughts. Let's wrap this thing up, B.
Go ahead. You go first, Keith, if you got anything.
Well, I'm going to, pun intended, change gears a little bit. I like NASCAR, and the NASCAR playoffs start this Sunday. So that's just something. It's Labor Day weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Something I pay attention to. I got a couple buddies of mine. We have like a $3 sweat on it, but it makes me want to sit down and watch it. So, I got a little NASCAR this weekend, part of my weekend. So I'm looking forward to it.
Where are they driving out of?
That's a good question. I want to say Martinsville, but I want to make sure they're at Darlington.
Darlington. That's the wall in the corner.
Yep.
Gosh, that's not a Hamlin. That's not a Joe Gibbs car place. It used to be Kevin Harvick, but I know he's not on the scene. Who would you take in something like this? Is this the Austin Dillon place? Are we thinking Bubba Wallace? I know he hasn't been too hot this year. What's the driver when we say Darlington that you think of? Because there's courses like anything Martinsville and Talladega, I think automatically Denny Hamlin. That's just me.
Well, Denny Hamlin can drive anywhere except for the what they call road races.
Right.
Watkins Glen, Sonoma, those guys. But the short tracks, I think, with Richmond, Darlington, Denny's going to be in the mix.
Right.
For sure. Larson's always a problem, but I mean, there's so many good drivers. But I root for the Joe Gibbs team. Obviously, Hamlin's been my guy for 20 years now. So I love the 11 car, and him and Jordan are boys, so that just makes it that much sweeter. So I'll be paying attention to that. That's my takeaway.
KG, what you got? Because I don't know what my takeaway is yet.
Well, mine is ESPN has demoted my girl Doris Burke. I'm not too happy about that because I am a Doris Burke fan. Number one, Doris Burke can bowl. That's number one. Number two, her wealth of knowledge on a broadcast is exceptional. And when she starts telling stories, she starts talking about strategy, you love to sit there and listen. Yeah. And when they put her in NBA 2K, I thought that was one of the best things. That they put her in the booth in NBA 2K. I thought that was one of the best things. But her being demoted, it just makes me wonder where are we going at ESPN?
Demoted to what? Like, is she going to the second crew or the B team?
Yeah, she won't be on the finals crew, so she probably be on the B team.
No, I think she keeps her. We gotta look into that a little bit more. She keeps her regular season duties. I just think she's off the finals, and they're bringing in legs, and that's not too bad because Legler is pretty solid.
Yeah,
there's coverage.
Well, ESPN/ABC, they messed up and screwed the pooch when you got rid of your best team. When you got rid of the trio of Mark Jackson, Mike Breen, and Van Gundy, you messed up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people tuned into the game for them. The same way NBC, you tuned in for Marv Albert, the Czar Mike Fratello, and Steve Snapper Jones. or Costas and Snapper Jones, or Costas and Isaiah Thomas. You tune in for these things. When you go away from what people love, you're going to turn people off.
Oh, they didn't turn me off.
Why are they making a proclamation for the final? I mean, the finals are in June next year. Like they're already like setting the table. Like, can't they just let the? Yeah. I mean, it's not like she lost her fastball or anything, right?
No,
I mean,
she's one of the best.
Yeah.
I love Doris just because every now and then she'll drop principles of verticality, and that's my word right there. You can tell them, you can say whatever you want to me. As she say, principles of verticality. That's a term for me, man.
Yeah.
But I think Legler's sharp. I mean, JoJo asked Legler why. I mean, if you watch their coverage and their presentation of the basketball, Legler's one of the better guys when it comes to giving you information, layering it out in terms of teams and their strengths and everything. So I don't think this is a bad thing for us as the viewer. I think some of this is just us that don't like change, and you're getting change. Not saying no names, but that might be the part where it's a little different. But I think you're not getting lower level performance from somebody because of the change. I think Legler and Burke are in the same realm for me when it comes to basketball and talking basketball. I can listen to either one of them. So there's no drop off for me.
JoJo said he's not better than DB, and here's the thing: I love Legler. I love Legler, but but most importantly, I feel attacked at what you just said. But it's cool though. I got you. I got you. But you also have to realize when you've been watching a broadcast for quite some time, if you were watching the Wizards,
I get what you're saying, because you think about like for me on a Saturday, if I don't get my Vern Lundquist and Todd Blackledge, like I got a little problem, when it comes to the SEC.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the way I feel about Notre Dame broadcast. If I ain't got Jim Gray on the sidelines, I'm upset. See, we that's one thing we don't agree on. We don't agree on announcers. But
I mean, we can bring Tony Dungy back and let Pink dry and see which one's more entertaining.
I prefer when they had Alan Cooley for that one season, but
I love some Jason Garrett too, because I mean, Jesus, I've never seen somebody so monotone before in my life. But hey, I'm not picking nits here.
Well, here's the thing.
Sorry, Keith. You just got into one of our commentator.
Because every commentator I enjoy, he does not like. It's like I can name a commentator team. He like That's all he say.
But you know if is it a bit or is he?
He's serious.
Oh, he's serious. Okay.
He's serious. Yeah, I like who I like, and he likes who he likes.
That's fair.
Like I still run around and quote Marv Albert. I still run around and quote Bob Costas. He doesn't like either one.
No, I like
Musburger. I love Musburger.
I love Marv. I love Musburger.
Okay.
I love Musburger.
Musburger got a little too happy with that girl from Alabama, AJ McCarron's girlfriend.
That was funny.
That shit. In hindsight, it was funny as hell because the way they mixed it up. But yeah.
But when it comes down to announced teams, what do you hear more than anything? You're watching the product, but what do you hear more than anything? The announced teams. Any game that Kevin Harlan does, I know it's going to be a good game.
I want you to see. We agree. See, There you go. Okay, look at that. We found a place.
We did. When it comes to college basketball, especially tournament time, I tune in. Well, I was tuning in for the late great Greg Gumbel, Charles Barkley, Clark Kellogg, and whoever else they had sitting in that day. But Chris Webber, Grant Hill, those guys, I enjoy listening to those guys talk. That's why I watch a lot of tournament games. But the announcer is what you hear. You're watching the product, but the announcer is what you hear. That what you hear turns you off, you're going to turn the channel.
Yep.
And a lot of people love Doris Burke. Bringing it right back to her. A lot of people love her. I'm one of those people.
I don't disagree with you. I love Doris Burke too. Come on, we can work this out. This is a tree of trust. and we can have a conversation here.
Maybe her contract's up or something. I mean, maybe it's a little deeper than just.
Now see, Anthony is in the right place because you give me some Bill Raftery, and the first couple minutes, if he doesn't drop onions or going straight man to man, that's my shit right there. That's my shit.
Yeah, Hubie Brown's another one for me. I mean, you like Hubie Brown?
Yes, I love Hubie Brown.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
I love Hubie about 5 years ago. At that point,
yeah. He should be done if he's not already.
I thought his fastball, like this weekend, and let's talk about this weekend before we even go. Okay. And that'll be my wrap it up. Lee Corso. This is probably his last episode, one of the last episodes. I thought they did a good job in managing Corso the last 3 or 4 years because you could tell he lost his fastball. But they worked it enough. He worked enough bits. And when the guest pickers come on and the not so fast, it's still classic. And I don't know how you replace that. I like the McAfee Saban vibe on the thing because I love how Pat does the swerve where he makes you think you're picking one thing and then he changes and picks the other team. So that's pretty cool. But it's gonna be sad to see Lee Corso go because he's been an institution in college football watching for the last 20, 30. I don't even remember how long. I know I was in college and I'd have game day on and you see the Washington State flag in the background. To this day, like I used to pick my son up. I think the statute of limitations work here, but back then, a couple years ago, Virginia was the only state I could do fan dueling. So he'd get in the car, and my son had to learn how to call out the games with the spreads and everything while we gambled on the way home because I had to do it while I was in Virginia, or I couldn't get my bet in. Mm-hmm. So he's in the car, UAB. He'd be like, UAB. I'm like, UAB? No, it's UAB, son. Oh, okay. And he's trying to figure out who got the plus and who got the minus. But yeah, that's a life lesson. Josh learned how to gamble the right way on our rise from Virginia into DC.
And
I'm proud of this.
I'll tell you this real quick.
We got.
I said it on this show. Dr. Jack Ramsey, Hubie Brown, Lee Corso, those are my guys.
Yeah.
And Hubie's retired. Dr. Jack has passed on. Now Lee Corso's retiring.
It's time, man.
I said this. My wife made me think about this. I said it, and she made me think about it. She said, "You can't say that." And I said, "They're taking everything from me. What more do I have?" And it felt like when they say Hubie was retiring, I was in tears because I was like, the well of knowledge. What more do I have? And she sat me down. She rubbed my back and said, "You can't say that because you're being selfish. It's time for him to go spend time with his family." Same thing with Dickie V.
See now all right, so there's a great song that says everything must change. Like raindrops fall from the sky. The young become the old. All these great lyrics, that's what it is. The young have become the old.
Yeah.
And then mysteries do unfold. Because that's the test of time.
And you made a joke about it, but it's true. I have a hard time dealing with change like that. And to have somebody in your corner that can walk you through it and really be there for you. And I'm talking about, when I say in tears, man, I'm talking about I was in tears about Hubie. You know how I love Hubie. I was in tears.
Hey, Casey,
Ashley had a golf question real quick. He said, do you agree that Brooks is basically just a carbon copy of Arnold Palmer? That's what a lot of golf enthusiasts say.
Brooks
Koepka,
maybe? That's what I'm thinking he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that. Arnold Palmer, his nickname was Arnold's Army. Koepka's almost been a heel his whole career, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a whole lot of, similarities in the two, except for they both won, Brooks has won 5 majors now. He went to live. What's that?
Heel. I like the way you use that. Drop that in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brooks has always been that way. He's been abrasive. He's been, kind of like a me guy. Does things his way. Arnold was beloved. You know what I mean? He was a John Deere tractor guy. He had every endorsement. He was all over, Castro, Pennzoil oil. You've seen them commercials back in the day. So I think they're very, very different aside from being, multiple major champion golfers.
Agreed.
Real quick, what's Portnoy doing, guys? I heard he's joining some. Is he on the Fox side or ESPN?
Yeah, so Fox is trying to bring him in, and of course he's a Michigan booster and supporter. So there was talk of trying to ban him from being in Ohio State and on the field with the way Fox does their coverage.
I see.
But yeah, of course, it's come out now that like Fox is like, oh no, Ohio State's like, no, we won't ban them, blah blah blah, because they know the money and the vision coming from it, and even just the nature of him being there is going to be a story in itself. So why take away from it?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I mean, think about what was it 2 years ago, Deion's first year, the level of that Fox went through to get his first 3 or 4 games on ESPN when they weren't initially scheduled. They were going somewhere else. Maybe after the TCU game, but because they won and because of the nature of the show, they went back to Colorado or gave Colorado another go. So I think this is a kind of a thing with Portnoy, is just trying to see what ears and eyes he brings to the stage, because it's not the traditional sports fan. It's kind of like their version of Pat McAfee. We want that edgy guy that's going to say some things and do some things in public that maybe everybody doesn't want.
Last quick thing for me. What about the brand that Will Compton is kind of established with Bussing with the Boys? I hear they're going to be on ESPN now, like on First Take or something.
Or all around ESPN.
Yeah, they're going to go through the car wash or something, him and Taylor Lewan. So he's, you're talking about I think he was undrafted, wasn't he?
Yeah, undrafted.
Big personality guy.
I think.
Yeah. So good by him. I mean, he's staying relevant and he's doing this thing.
Yeah, I mean, that Bus with the Boys series grew with them being, back in the bus. They took the brand and ran with it, and then they just start getting noticed and loved, and that's kind of the key with this whole thing. We talk about the Portnoys, and I think they had a Barstool deal for a minute, and then I think they left Barstool to do their own thing. Think about the Kelsey brothers with their thing, and they have a deal with somebody, and they're making money. You got Gil trying to do a sports show with Skip Bayless. Like the podcast world has exploded in a way that I think even if you're not a great player, you can have options if you're doing this right. Yeah, I mean, Anthony, nobody can forget that guy.
Yeah,
he's on the Mount Rushmore.
He also said my favorite old school college football announcer was Chris Scale.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, me either.
He said, KJ Midnight Rider, what are your thoughts on Ohio legislator passing a law that says opponents who play at Ohio State can't plant their flag after a win in the middle of the horseshoe? If that's true, man, that's bull.
Yeah, that is bull.
That's crybaby bullshit.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there was one guy that didn't want them to play at, like, Ohio's legislators, they need a fucking life. Excuse my language. But there was one dude that didn't want them to, like, they couldn't have any 12 o'clock games or something like that. Like, he tried to induce legislation that they couldn't play games at 12. They had to play everything after 12 or something crazy like that. So, yeah, just take all the Ohio legislators, put them in a bag, and take it out today and put it on the curb for the trash man to pick it up.
There you go.
All right. Well, let me throw the schedule out here real quick. We got a lot coming up in the next couple of shows. We be back on Saturday with the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. the People's Choice Don Rodriguez, the Nubian Sumo, myself, we will be picking for Clash in Paris, which is Sunday. So hopefully Sumo puts the title on the line so I can get my belt back. On Sunday, we're going to have our first round of NFL previews. So out of 8 conferences, we'll do 4 on Sunday, come back on Tuesday, do the other 4. On Thursday, Monday's a holiday. You got In the Passenger Seat on Monday, Tuesday Night Flight on Tuesday. Wednesday, you'll have In the Passenger Seat again. Thursday, week 1 of the NFL kicks off, so you will see us between 7:15 and 7:30. We got to get up out of here, so we're going to preview that game, pick that, and get up out of here. Midnight Rider, can you please send me the link for the picks so I can log into that and make sure I'm good so I can make my picks and see if I can not die down the stretch this time?
I mean, hey, there's always a place for somebody to come in second.
Well, yeah. But
I mean, we already know first. Like
it's
like
a trade-off. But it's a trade-off. I'll come in second, third, fourth in the picks, but I'll win fantasy football every year. So I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm good with that. See that? That's for 2 rings. 2 rings. But we got a lot coming up. Please make sure you're here with us Saturday, Sunday morning, Monday evening, Tuesday evening, Wednesday.
Do you know what time Drive Time's coming back?
Drive Time. I know he said he wasn't doing the show on Monday.
So that's just on Saturday or Sunday. Let's make sure we get what Maddie's going for next week.
Right. And I'll announce that on Saturday on on the WrestleManiac. So tune in for that. Shout out to everybody. Sophia, Anthony, Coach Powell, JoJo, Matty Ice, Showtime Sir, J Dub, Jesse. Who am I missing? Am I missing anybody? I don't think I got Sophia, right? Sophia.
Yep. Anybody that commented on the show, thank you for your comments. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you for the likes. We got to get out of here because look, we did almost 2 hours, but I didn't think we was gonna have this much content. But we had content tonight.
It was a great show, boys.
On Thursday, 2 hours.
Hit them straight. Let's go.
Hey, Keith, hang around for a couple seconds after we get off.
All right, you got it.
All right.
So for the correspondent, the Midnight Ride, I'm the big guy KG. Last Thursday overtime, baby, because in a week NFL starts. We are out of here.